As an Azure administrator, one of your core responsibilities is ensuring that data stored in Azure is protected, both at rest and in transit. This lecture focuses on how encryption works in Azure storage accounts and how you can configure it securely. Encryption ensures that even if data is accessed by an unauthorized user, it remains unreadable without the decryption key. Azure provides built-in encryption capabilities that comply with many regulatory standards. When you use Azure Storage, your data is automatically encrypted before it's written to disk and decrypted seamlessly when accessed. This is called encryption at rest. You don't have to do anything extra to enable it. It's built in for your protection. You can choose between two types of encryption key management. By default, Azure uses Microsoft Managed Keys, which means Azure takes care of key rotation and management for you. This is a great choice if you want a simple, low-maintenance setup. However, if your organization requires more control for compliance or security reasons, you can opt for Customer Managed Keys (CMK). In this case, you store your keys in Azure Key Vault, giving you full control over key rotation, access policies, and auditing. This encryption applies across all major Azure storage services, including blob storage, file shares, queues, and tables, ensuring that your data stays secure at every layer. When it comes to encryption in Azure Storage, you have two main scenarios to consider. The first is Service-Side Encryption (SSE), which is automatically enabled on all storage accounts. You don't need to configure anything. Azure takes care of encrypting your data before it's written to disk and decrypting it when accessed. This process is completely transparent to your applications, so you can focus on building without worrying about encryption logistics. The second option is client-side encryption, which is optional but powerful. Here, your application encrypts the data before it ever leaves your environment and sends it to Azure in an already encrypted form. While this method gives you an additional layer of security, it does require more development effort and key management on your part. Choose the approach that best aligns with your security needs and development capabilities. Let's get on the Azure portal and see encryption in action. Let's now use the storage account we created earlier in the demo. To enable customer managed encryption, open the storage account in the Azure portal. From the left-hand menu, navigate to Security plus Networking and click on Encryption. You will land on the encryption settings page as shown. Now, under encryption type, select Customer Managed Keys. This allows you to use your own keys stored in Azure Key Vault, giving you greater control over encryption and compliance. On this page, I've chosen the option to use a key directly from Azure Key Vault. I selected the Key Vault and a key labeled My Key. Note, I have already created the Key Vault and a key within it for this demo. Just ensure that Key Vault is created in the same region as the storage account. Identity type is selected as System Assigned. It must have appropriate access policies or RBAC roles in the Key Vault to retrieve the key, such as Key Vault Administrator. I have already assigned the required role to the System Assigned Manage Identity on the given Key Vault. Let's go ahead and save this. This screen confirms that CMK-based encryption is now active for storage account. We have now fully configured Customer Managed Encryption for your storage account. Encryption key is securely stored in Azure Key Vault, auto rotation is enabled, and storage account has its own identity to authenticate and retrieve the key as needed. This setup meets strong compliance and security standards, giving you control without losing the convenience of automation. In addition to standard encryption, Azure offers a few extra configuration options to strengthen your data protection. One of these is infrastructure encryption, which adds a second layer of encryption on top of Azure's built-in service-side encryption. If you are handling highly sensitive workloads like financial or healthcare data, this double encryption provides an added level of assurance. However, keep in mind that you can only enable infrastructure encryption at the time you create the storage account. It can be turned on afterward. When you use customer managed keys, you also get full control over key rotation. You can choose to rotate your keys manually through Azure Key Vault whenever needed, or set up automated key rotation to keep things hands-off and consistent. This gives you flexibility and helps you stay aligned with compliance requirements around key management and expiry.